What's going on, y'all? My name is Enoch. I'm here to inspire, motivate, and encourage you to be the best version of you that you could possibly be. I know that ain't an easy task, but let's go! Welcome back to Divine Motivation Podcast. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. I appreciate all of that. Thank you for your time. I don't take that for granted. Follow the Instagram Divine Motivation _ motivational videos every single day, literally. You ever have any questions? Just shoot me a message. I got you. Let's work through this life thing together. Right now, we're talking about character. We're talking about building. If you need some motivation, go listen to the album called I Am. Still everywhere. Let's get into it. Let's keep this thing going, man. We talked about integrity. Talked about accountability. Another thing that I feel like helps build our character towards becoming the best version of ourselves is empathy. Empathy, man. Empathy is one of those things where when you don't see enough of it, it's clear. Sometimes we lose empathy because of our daily lives. We're just doing what we're doing, moving through life, and we start forgetting the value of people, the value of others, the value of an actual person. Empathy, treating people nicely, no matter what, because you don't know what they've been through. Putting yourself in their shoes. And I think empathy allows us to have grace for people. Because if I'm not mistaken, we've all messed up before, right? Right? If you've messed up before, raise your hand. Yeah, I'm raising both my hands. I've messed up. I'm pretty sure you have too, right? You've messed up. All right, cool. We're clear. Everyone has messed up. Cool. Sometimes we forget that people are going to mess up. Which is weird to say because we know we've all messed up and we all mess up all the time. But when it's something that's done to you, now let me be clear. I'm not talking about something malicious. I'm not talking about something that is egregious, that's just violating, disrespectful. I'm not talking about none of that. But I'm talking about the little things that we get mad at our friends about, mad at our family about, close people to us, even co-workers. There's some things that we like to hold on that people have done when it's like, yo, you forgot that you did that too? You forgot when you messed up and did the exact same thing? We got to look at people for who they are. Some people aren't where you are, especially if you're working on yourself, especially if you're building your character, especially if you're trying to become the best version of yourself. Not everybody's on that journey. It takes some people longer. It takes some people some time to understand, I got to work on myself. Not that, there's not that much people that do that. As much as you see on social media and stuff like that, people that are really doing that self work, that soul work, it's not as much as you think. So the chances of you coming across somebody that is actually doing that work is very slim. So you may have to have more patience when you interact with people like that. You might need more grace for people like that because they may say something and not even realize what they're saying because they're not in tune. And it's on you, for someone that's working on yourself, to say, you know what? Let me try to shift this conversation. Let me try to see what I can do with this situation and try to mend it in a way to where we're not having a screaming match. We're not fighting. We're not just so far off. Like, people mess up. You have to have empathy for others. Help people out. Sometimes people can use your help. Say to them like, hey man, I don't think you should do it. Like, I appreciate what you've done, but I don't like the way you handled that. So like, let's do this. Like, don't just say, oh, they're done. Like, I can't with them. Obviously, I told you about the stuff that's like just far left. Like, it's like, yo, you gotta separate yourself, boundaries. But like, people making, like, we talked about accountability. Like, sometimes people aren't accountable, and you gotta say, dang, I remember when I wasn't accountable at one point. So let me not be too hard on them. I remember when my integrity was a little So let me have some grace for them. Let me have some empathy for them, because I don't know what they're going through. Like, even with strangers, I remember I was at the grocery store, not the grocery, I forgot what store. I think Staples or something. And the lady at the register just seemed so frustrated. She was just being mean, just just wasn't in a good mood. You could tell. You know when the cashier is just not feeling it. And in that moment, I said, you know what? I'm gonna say something nice to that person. And I said something nice to her, and you can tell, like, it lifted her day just a little bit, because then she was a little nicer. She started telling us about different things that they got going on in the store, stuff like that. But you never know what people may be going through, man. That's why you gotta have grace for people. As long as they're not being malicious to you. Like, sometimes ask, like, yo, are you okay? Like, something bothering you? Not in the, because there's a way to ask, are you okay? Is something bothering you in a disrespectful, like, yo, you good? Like I'm saying, I'm not talking about being aggressive, but like, are you okay? Are you struggling with something? Like, you want to talk? Like, let's talk. Don't just chalk it up to, oh, they got an attitude. I bet I'm gonna give you that same energy. No, you need to grow up. Sometimes people is going through some things. You remember when you was going through some things? We all been through some things, right? And sometimes you might be a little off. So take time to just treat people better. Be patient with people, because a lot of people are struggling. And if you're listening to this, you're doing some type of work. So keep working on you and empathizing people that aren't working on themselves, and know that there's a time where they will. As long as you can show that patience, that empathy, you might be the person that sparks that in them. That's this week's episode. Like, subscribe, share. Follow the Instagram, Divine Motivation _ Man, we just trying to grow. That's it. Just trying to grow. That's all we trying to do. I appreciate you tuning in. Remember, like, subscribe, share. Divine Motivation _ Shoot me a DM. You have any questions? I got you. I want to help you. Let's keep this thing going. See you next week. Peace.